welcome to another episode of Why Won't You Date Me, a podcast where me and Nicole Byer was trying to figure out why I was so single, even though you could come in a little cup and say, that's the air purifier. My guest today
is it OSHA? I think OSHA would need to check that out or something.
I mean, if you lied and said it was an air purifier, I'd go, okay, I'll breathe it in. My guest today is a comedy legend. He was the former editor-in-chief at Funny or Die and the artistic director at UCB Theater in New York City. He's produced iconic comedies like Drunk History,
Whoa.
The Chris Gethard Show,
Whoa.
and Netflix's Murderville. And we improvise all together. Oh my God. It's as if I've never done this intro before. And we improvised together at Largo at a show called Dinosaur. It's Owen Burke!
Yeah. You do my intro all the time?
No, but I do intros.
Oh, okay.
Weekly. Because it's a weekly podcast. And you'd think I'd have it down by now, and I simply don't. Every day is a surprise.
Well, you know what? You're living in the moment. This is fresh. It's exciting. You're just living for the now, not in the past. You're not stale.
Thank you.
You know?
That's nice.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm a present person. Are you a present person, or do you dwell in the past, or do you think about the future?
I do all three. I'm a multitasker. And so I'm a present person. That's why I do improv. I think that's why it's my first thing, the art that connected me, because I was like, oh, we just do it now and then it's over now. It's not planning for something. It's this is this and then it's over. But I dwell in the past all the time. I have an enormous bag full of guilt and shame that I carry around with me like
Santa?
Like Santa. Instead of toys, it's just memories of when I was wrong and treated
when I
people
said that
bad.
one thing to somebody. That only happens every now and again. I'll go, oh no, why was I so weird?
Yeah.
And then I'll bring it up all the time to that person.
Oh, yeah. Because you're trying to make it, well, that happened to me yesterday. I'm like, I took a walk. Went to hike, and of course I wasn't thinking that the hike trails are closed. I don't know. This is coming out later, but
to dwell in the past, fires happened.
Fires happened. They're currently happening now.
Yeah.
But the show must go on. And
I will say this before you go on your story. Mars, my producer Mars, and I were recording ads, and then I got that false alert on my phone, and I was like, no, I have to go. She's like, it'll take 5 minutes. I was like, I'm not dying. I truly acted like that alert said fire was at my front door, knocking, being like, I kill you.
Hello, Avon calling. Well, we had a fake alert at like 3:35 in the morning.
I didn't get that one.
And my wife's like, because I have kids and they all have phones, and they signed up for every alert in every jurisdiction because they have friends in different zip codes. So our phone was like all night. And I was like, there's no fire at 3:35 a.m. My wife's like, yeah, there could be a fire. I'm like, not at 3:35. I just like called it. I was like, no, I'm going back to bed.
No, can't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think fire should happen that late.
No, they should just be at regular hours.
Yes.
There should be a set hour.
Like a work day.
A work day. And like
9 to 5.
Don't ruin rush hour. Once 10 a.m., have the fire. End it at 4:15 so we can get back out on the road.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
That's what I've been saying to the fires.
Fires, please.
Please, come in. Honestly, it's really devastating.
It's terrible.
It's really
it really
awful.
is. We were just talking about it for like, it's so big and devastating. I keep using the word, now my autocorrect, whatever word I'm writing, it says devastating.
It's like, hello, devastating.
Yeah. Hey, why won't you devastate me?
Wait, I interrupted you. So you were trying to hike. Hiking trails were closed.
Hiking trails were closed. And then I was walking, and I bumped into somebody. He was wearing glasses and a hood, and he was walking his dog. This was yesterday. And he was like, Owen. And I was like, hey. And I have a thing where I don't recognize anyone if they're wearing sunglasses. Like if you wore sunglasses, I literally wouldn't recognize you. And there's something, I just have a problem when someone's wearing sunglasses. And so he was like, oh, and then he was like, oh, and he took off his glasses and dropped his head. I'm like, I still didn't. And he was like, Rich. And then I was like, oh man. And he really knew who I was. And I really worked hard. Like I really did the work to figure out who I was like, and the name, And I fainted. I couldn't, and I didn't know. And I feel so bad because he was genuinely
so excited to see you.
And you know what? And he's a sweet person.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when people are like, oh, in this time of fires and uncertainty and everyone coming together, and here's someone reaching out to me, and I'm like, I'm making this the most awkward moment of your life. Like, it's just like, I'm so sorry, I'm awkward and I'm terrible, and I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to be awkward in a cool way. I don't know how to blow things off in like a charming way where I'm like, well, next time, yeah.
Next time I'll remember you. There's no charming way to do that.
No, next time I'll remember. And then the horrible thing is I had to come back down because the trail was closed, so I was walking these local streets, so I had to come back down the same street. Mm-hmm. And he was walking back up with the dog. And then we had that, oh, hey, I'm
That's upsetting.
That's the worst. And then I'm like kicking myself. And this goes into the guilt Santa bag for my sleigh, where I'm just like, oh, now I'm going to think about who is this person, and I know I'm going to run into that person again, and I'm going to be like, Rich, hey, what's up? How's your dog? How is that hill you live on?
How is that hill you live on? The two things I know about you: you got a dog and you live on a hill.
You still wear that hoodie?
I once ran into somebody who was like, Nicole. And I went, wow, it's so great to see you. And she's like, we've never met. I know. And I was like, And then I just couldn't come back from it.
No, sometimes you can't.
I was like, why would you do that? I was just trying to like be friendly and be like, wow, great to see you. And then you're like, you don't know me. Okay,
sometimes
bitch.
when people undercut your kindness, when people undercut like the politeness, you know, you're like, one person got really mad at me because I didn't know their name. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend, like in UCB, New York, like someone who wasn't even a part of the theater. And I walk into a party, and I wasn't sober 100% of the time back then, but like, I mean, he's like, what's my name? That was the first thing he said to me. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I see you a lot, and I say hi, and I'm like smiling, but I don't know. He got really mad at me, and then I'm like, well, I don't know if we'll ever be friends now.
No, you can't be friends. It's so rude. I was pop quiz. Yeah, cool.
I once was not a big deal, but I was at a valet my car.
Oh my God,
not a big
valet.
Deal. So it's a Honda Civic, so I take really good care of it. And
it'll last you forever. Civics are great.
I love my Civic. The only reason I got rid of my first Civic is because I got T-boned, and they're like, this car, and I'm like, please.
What year was it?
2005, value package.
Okay.
It was like the last car that had roll windows.
Nice.
And like people would be like, if I'm driving and someone's lost and they're on the right side of my car and they're like, roll down your window I'm like,
sorry.
I have T-Rex arms. I can't reach. I'm sorry. My arms are way too short. So it was like a really old car, but I had my, iPod in it. As long as I had music, I don't care. And then I got T-boned, and then I was like, you have to get rid of it. I couldn't believe it. So I just got another Honda Civic. And so I valet it. Back to me valeting and tipping big. But I was there, and Reese Witherspoon was at the valet.
Oh.
And I saw her, and I was like, whoa, hey, what's up? And she was like, hey. I was like, how are you doing? And she was like, good. You don't know me. And I was like, oh, wait, I don't know you. And she's like, it happens all the time. And I really thought I knew her from college or from UCB or something, because she has that familiarity. I really thought I knew her.
Happened with Jonah Hill. I was going to SNL when Sashir was on it, and we were in the check-in at the same place. And I was like, my good friend Jonah. And I didn't say that out loud, but I felt my arms reaching up to hug him. And I was like, wait, I don't know him. I have to stop. It's wild.
Yeah, it's really wild. And it must happen to you all the time.
Yeah, to me. I'm moderately successful.
No, but it people would, when I did those VH1 shows, don't get jealous, everybody. You do them for free at first, and then they give you $200 or whatever.
And you're like, oh my God.
If I could PA on the show, I'd make more money. But people would stop me in the street in these villages, be like, hey, did we go to college together? How did they? Because it's this weird, not famous, but familiar face looking thing.
Yeah. I worked at a place called Chat and Chew in New York City.
Oh, yeah. I know Chat and Chew.
Has since closed. And I was a hostess. And John Mulaney came in, and he sat down. And so like there was a door here, and then there was 2 tables here, and I sat him right there, and I stared at him because I was like, I know him from somewhere. And I think he was on Best Week Ever. And I went up to him and I was like, I know you from somewhere. And he was like, well, I am on TV. And I went, that's not it. And then I gave him my number, and he never called me.
What? How rude.
I know. It seems like he's doing well. Made some good choices.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He would have made better choices if he called you.
I don't know.
It would have been much better for him, believe me. You know, come on. Chat and Chew. I love Chat and Chew. That was when I was a PA. I was a production assistant in New York, and we would go there for expensive lunches, you know, because you could write off your lunch.
I mean, I would go somewhere more expensive. It wasn't that expensive.
But it was expensive. There was like a limit.
Oh, yeah.
And somewhere I would never go. I would never go there if it was paying for it myself, you know.
My manager there was a man named Booba, and he was shaped like Grimace. And I say that with love. But
was he purple?
No.
Okay.
No, imagine it was Grimace. I was like, he is actually purple. And no, but once I said to him, I was like, what should I order for a family meal? And he said, you ever just drink some water and sit down? And I was like, way to call me fat.
Man.
But also, he was fat. He was shaped like Grimace. And I was like, you ever drink water?
Damn.
It was a fun job.
Yeah. Restaurant work is tough.
Mm-hmm.
I did it. I did it very limited. I would always just have to leave the job because I was a terrible waiter.
Yeah, me too.
I was just a terrible waiter. I would just forget things. I also am very shy around people. If I don't know somebody, I'm very shy. And I don't like to go up to people. And, you know, I always feel like they're going to be upset to see me.
No. They're so happy to see a server.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're not going to want me to come to their table. They're going to hate me.
They don't want to talk to me.
They don't want me
They're
to
not
come to their table.
going to tell me what they want to eat.
Here are the specials. I'm so sorry. We have a crab Louie.
I would always forget things, so I started saying to my tables, and they'd be like, I need ketchup, I need a fork, I need ranch. I'd be like, okay, guys, I'm going to come back with one, none, or all of it. And then I would get like a full round of applause when I came back with all of it. That's not how it should be.
No. I mean, ultimately, you're not even supposed to be seen, just be delivering stuff or whatever. I would walk into their table. Like my femur just like knocking glasses of wine over, just like.
Well, if you're not good at talking to strangers, how did you meet your wife?
What?
Look at that segue.
Look at that segue. Ooh. Put on your helmets.
Ooh, that took me a hot second. That was really fucking funny. Put on your helmet.
Put on your helmets, people. Let's be safe. How did I meet my wife? Actually, she talked to me.
Oh.
Because I don't talk to, I'm like really shy around. It's really hard for me to meet new people it's very rare like that I'm outgoing with people. Unless there's a connection, a click right away. But I'm very shy about people. When I'm working, I don't have a problem. When I'm performing, I don't have a problem. But when I'm just in my natural life, I have a real problem talking to people. I don't think anyone wants me to talk to them. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to talk to anybody. So I was in an improv class, not a big deal.
Ballet, improv?
Ballet.
Ooh, you're a man of the world.
Well, this guy must be an East Coast white guy. This guy must have been from Westchester County. Tell me you played lacrosse at a private school. Well, I did, as a matter of fact. But we were in an improv class, and I had already been through the classes, and I was doing shows, but I had never had Ian Roberts as a teacher. And he only taught level 1 and 2. I never had him as a teacher, and I was like, I had Amy Poehler, Matt Walsh, and Matt Besser as teachers, and I was like, I have to finish it up. So I went back and took Ian Roberts, and my wife was in that class, and I didn't know her then. And but I didn't really talk to her in the class because I was just there to like learn from Ian and, you know, all these people are like, oh, you're level 2. Like, you know, I'm like, and we were at a show one time, or I was at a show. It was Ash Wednesday and February 17th, 1999. And I was at a show and I was sitting in the back. Spaghetti Jesus was their sketch show at the time. And I was sitting in the back on the theater in 22nd Street. And my wife sat in a row in front of me, and I recognized her from the class. And then she turned around and she's like, how are you? I was good. And we talked for a bit. And then I just couldn't have her crane her neck anymore, so I just sat next to her. And then we just started talking, and that was it.
Really?
That was it. And then we got married that night. been married for 21 years.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So did you ask her on a date or did she ask you on a date? Or did you just like go from the show just out?
We went, I think, to McManus after that show with a group or something. We saw people. And then there was another show that I went to and she went to with a friend or something. And then we always went, there's a bar in New York, McManus. I'm sure you've talked about this podcast, but like, and so that was the first couple of dates was like with people at McManus. And then, you know, she was just a very sweet, wonderful person. And I don't, you know, it's like how we stayed together. I don't know, you know, it's just one of these things where she was just sweet and we really took it slow. And yeah, she's really amazing person. You know, when I first met, you know, you're like figuring out about somebody and I'm like, well, what are you into? And she was like, baby animals and eye cream. And I was like, where is the certificate where we could just get married, you know?
That's so sweet, baby animals and eye cream.
Yeah.
I love to smile and I love to take care of my skin.
Yeah. She's got great skin, you know? I'm like, I hope my kids have her skin, you know what I mean? She's got great skin, but she's just she really initiated it. She really was like, oh, I'll talk to this person.
Aww.
Yeah. And because I'm like, I would be like, oh, she doesn't want to. I'm gonna leave. I leave people alone. I always figure people just want to be alone or something, which, you know, I don't know why I think that. I think it's.
No, I get it.
I was raised a bit or something.
Do you remember your first girlfriend?
Yeah, she's my wife. Yeah, my first girlfriend, I didn't date much, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really like, my first girlfriend, I didn't have a girlfriend in high school. My first girlfriend was my senior year in college. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
No.
So it was it my senior year? I think so. And she was a real wonderful person, just a sweet, wonderful person. And I think that's sort of who I'm attracted to, are like just sweet, wonderful people who are just cool and nice and sweet. And she was great. We dated for like maybe 2 months.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I can't do this because I didn't understand what relationships are. I'm a late bloomer.
They're hard.
They're really hard.
And then nobody explains them to you.
I was really bad at dating, and I'm really bad with relationships because I had an idea of relationships, an idea of dating, but I didn't.
What was your idea of dating and relationships?
Like, I don't know. Like, I think it was like that it's something mystical that you find out once you're in it, that I don't know what it is. Like, it's over the garden wall, and once you're in it, you understand it. And I was just so sheltered or just repressed or suppressed or, you know, robotussed that I just didn't. Drugged out, dude. Getting all that crease. The grass team likes, bro. But that I just didn't understand, like, what it meant to be in a relationship. And what I didn't understand is that you're just who you are with someone else. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I was bad at dating, because I was like an audition, you know, it was, or an interview. Like, am I good enough to be with you? Because I have such a low self-esteem that I'm like, am I good enough? Is this what you're expecting? Is this, and this? Like, trying to present myself like it's a resume, you know, as opposed to just being who I am, you know? It's
hard, though. When I met my boyfriend's friends, I know I was like quiet in a way that I'm not quiet. I was like, I don't know the only person I know is him. And then I'm like, well, yeah, go mingle with your friends. I'll be fine by myself. Then I'm like, I spent a lot of time being like, don't be weird. I'm like, but I am a weirdo. Like, just be yourself. And now I'm fine. And now I will be as weird as I want to be with these people. Yeah. But at first I was like, I don't know how to act. And then, yeah, in a relationship, it is just being yourself. But in my brain, you know, you watch a lot of Disney movies and shit, and you're like, it's gonna be magical. Yeah. You think there's this ultra intimacy or this special bond or this secret language that you learn with someone else or something. And to me, it was always this foreign thing of like, even like as before I started performing, like, oh, that's something that performers do. Could I ever do that? And then once you start doing it, you're like, no,
once you're improvising, you learn how to do it and whatever. You're like, oh no, this is just
this is how I do it.
This is how I do it. And look, everybody's just normal that we all do it with. No one is like me, saving the voice. Like everyone's just a normal person. And so the mystery is gone. Or working on a movie or a TV show or something, you realize it's not mysterious. It's actually you're just yourself there. And with a relationship, I think meeting Christina, who's my wife now, I was so being myself. I think at that point in my life, I was so myself because I'm an institutionalist. I loved UCB theater. I really got a lot out. And UCB just opened. The theater just opened when I met her. But I had been a part of the classes and doing shows for a while before that.
How did you find it with it being so new?
I found it, I'll tell you how I felt crazy. I lived outside the Holland Tunnel in New York City on the Lower West Side. And my downstairs neighbors told me about it. They were like, there's this improv that's in New York you got to go see because you're funny and you should go see this. My downstairs neighbor was Will Arnett. And he was like, you got to see this. I'm bringing you to this. And I'm like, I know what improv is. I did short form for a month in college. And I don't.
Short form's not for me.
It's not for me. And you know what? The people who do short form, the people I know who've done short form, brilliant.
Great at it.
Really good. And really good. And also good long form improvisers. A lot of people I know. I'm like, yeah, they're really good at it. I could do it, but I found it so incredibly boring that you're just like, oh, I have to rhyme. Just rhyming, jumping and rhyming is not really fun for me. And so, you know what it is? Like a lot of it is like,
it's like games. It's like
where's the humor? It's like, oh, you're speaking like a noir guy, see? Or I'm like, I don't really want to do this. I wish I could just
make your own choice.
Yeah, make my own choice that's like comedically creative and completely fictional. And so I was like, and they're like, no, you have to come. And it was before there was a theater, and there was this place called Rebar on 16th and 8th. This guy, Duff McDonald and Will Arnett took me to my first show. And I saw it, and this is fall of 96. And I went out to Amy Poehler after the show, and I was like, this is amazing. How do I get involved? And she's like, take classes. That's what I did. I'm teaching a workshop this Saturday. You should come. And I did. And then I just kept doing it. And that was like a real follow-through moment for me. I was just like, I got to follow through with this. I have to be vulnerable. Because I was a PA back then, not a big deal. And so I didn't know how to break into the entertainment industry. I was like, I guess I'm a PA, and I had raised very conservatively, like, how do you work your way up to being a performer? And it doesn't work that way. You just have to perform. You just have to do the thing you do. Tina Fey gave great advice once, like, don't ever do the thing that you're not, because you'll be introduced to someone as that thing, and then they'll look at you that way for the rest of your life. Like,
that's really good advice.
So it's like, instead of being like, oh no, I'm a comedian, but I met you as a lighting person for this person's show. You're a tech person who wants to be a comedian. You know what I mean? And so it's really, I was like, oh, that's great advice. And haven't followed it very well. And people keep seeing me as a tech person who wants to be a comedian. But, and so I just I was like, this is what it is. I'm going to be vulnerable. I know I'm funny, but how am I funny this way? And I just have to not be funny for a while and just get into it and just try to be good at this form, try to be funny through this lens. I'm sort of doing that now with stand-up, and I'm having a real hard time with it.
Stand-up is hard.
Stand-up is really hard, and sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's just... I did a stand-up show on Friday night. They didn't cancel the show.
How was that?
3 people came, like friends of one guy who brought... It was tough sledding. It was tough. It was like...
3 people, that's tough.
Yeah, it was tough. And...
I once did a show not during fires, and there was 6 people in the crowd. The person before me walked 2 of them, so there was 4 people for me. And I was like, I'm going to give them the show of their life. And this man was with this big tittied lady. And during my set, she went, you're funny. And I was like, this is hell on earth.
Yeah.
This sucks. But
now we have a connection. Now I will follow you to the end of the earth. Yeah, one person during when I first got up, they immediately got up. So then there was 2 people. I'm like, I just lost a third of the audience. And I've done improv in front of 3 people when I was first starting out. And I actually did it at a place last year, and there was like 4 people in the audience, an improv show I was doing with a friend, and I was like, but it's tough. But stand-up for me is like, it's this thing because, again, like the way I'm really figuring out if I should continue with it because I'm like, do I want to reveal this much about myself? Like what I love about improv is I get to play characters and be an idiot and just be.
And then there's like a bunch of people who are like, yeah, well, yes, and all that. When you're alone on a stage, you're like, this? You didn't like it?
Yeah.
What about this? Oh, you liked it. Okay.
I'm going to keep doing that. And I'll do it tomorrow night and no one will like it. And then I feel guilty about redoing. Like I had to do because it was during a fire. I was like, my material has to be about the fire.
Yes.
I can't not be like, hey, my Christmas tree, my goddamn kids and their Santa lists, And all the thing I was like preparing for, I was like, I got the show. I'm going to prepare all my Christmas stuff. And I'm like, no, now I got to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then I'm like, I don't want to share this burden of sharing so much about my point of view all the time. And maybe it's just someone, I don't do that. I just don't. It's why I don't like tweet a lot and I don't go on Instagram a lot and I don't do podcasts or whatever because I don't really talk a lot about myself. I like to just perform as someone else or just do make-believe, And
no, I get that. I enjoy. Owen, real quick, we got to take a break. Believe it or not, a lot of people struggle with eating disorders and don't even know it. It doesn't always look like what you think. It can show up as constantly being on diets, feeling out of control when you eat, obsessing over working out, or getting fixated on your body. These thoughts can just take over your brain and your body, but it doesn't have to be like that. If you're ready to get help, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a virtual evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps you heal your relationship with food and your body from the comfort of your home. Every Equip patient has the access to a team of eating disorder experts that can include a therapist, a dietitian, medical provider, and a mentor who knows exactly what you're going through. Equip meets you where you are so you can still live your life, go to school, work, whatever it is, and still get the care that's tailored to your identity and environment. It's covered by insurance, there's no wait lists, and they treat people of all ages and backgrounds. So if you've been putting this off, you don't have to wait anymore. To learn more about Equip's virtual eating disorder treatment, visit equip.health/dateme. That's equip.health/dateme. Owen, we're back.
Wow, that was 6 hours. I've been in this chair for 6. I keep being like, can I leave? Can I leave?
No, we needed to come back from the break, and it needed to be a 6-hour break. Those are SAG rules.
But I didn't even get to go to the bathroom or get something to eat or drink.
No, SAG rules. 6-hour break, no bathroom,
is this SAG?
Nothing. This is a SAG production, okay?
Why is there an intimacy coordinator here?
Because we're going to get to the fucking...
Okay. I can't get the sweater off. It's stapled to my shirt so it doesn't ride up.
Intimacy coordinator is a good thing, but also a wild thing. Like, what is your job? I watch people pretend to have sex and make sure that it's good.
Yeah.
And
safe.
Nice and safe and everyone feels good about it. It's wild.
It is.
But I'm glad that they exist.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think it's better than the alternative. I think we're headed in a better direction. It's like, come on. It's like, we're all making art. We're not like, and nowadays it's like, no one has to do anything really that puts anyone in danger. Not that they ever did, because it just becomes a thumbnail on a huge Netflix thing and it's forgotten immediately.
And it's like, why not just be safe about it and do it the right way and have a nice time and everyone's happy?
Yeah, everyone should just chill out because nothing matters anymore.
I know. Have you been following the Blake Lively, Justin somebody?
The whole thing about that thing?
About the worst movie ever made?
That nobody
I'll go on record. It was a terrible movie for all of this hoopla. It's bad.
Well, the whole thing is about them. And then you're like, well, can you just make this into a movie?
Yeah, I mean, that would be juicier.
They're going to.
The movie was not good.
No, but that was like that other movie that had all that controversy. I forget what it was called. Where everyone was sleeping with each other. The director was sleeping with Harry Styles.
With Harry Styles.
And
what was
Don't
that
Worry,
movie?
Darling.
Yes, Don't Worry, Darling.
And it's just like, I never saw it, but I'm like, there's just so much drama about it that I'm like, come on, can't we all just go to work?
Get along.
Like, you never hear about like two grips who like fell in love during a filming, and like he won't leave the truck until Terry leaves the set.
Wait, that is so funny. I never thought of it that way. An actor can stay in their trailer because they're mad about something, but a grip, they got to do their job.
Yeah, you got to be. Hey, we got to get.
We got to light this.
Got to get this 4x floppy up. No, it doesn't feel right to me right now. Not with Terry here. Terry is making me feel less than. It's so crazy. You know what? I just picture, because whenever there's drama on a set, you just know that while all that was going on, people are just like, just sitting on set, just like, oh.
You're like, I could be home with my kids. Yeah. I could be doing anything else.
There's actors who are waiting for the drama to end for them to do their thing. And people who have lives, and it's like, people just get into their own. And I don't know what it is. I'm not disparaging either one.
Well, in therapy I've been working on, I am not the main character in other people's story. So like someone else's choice usually has nothing to do with me. And that's a thing that I'm working on.
Yes.
And I think a lot of actors are like, I'm the main character in everybody's story and I'll never leave my trailer. And you're like, okay.
I've got top billing in your life. Who's number one in Owen Burke's call sheet? Nicole Byer. Oh, I'm number 5?
I'm number 5 in my own life?
Oh my gosh. Wait a second. Yeah, it's, I always think that if that people are mad at me all the time. I always have this thing that people are mad at me, and I don't know why. It's just weird thing. I remember we did a fundraiser for a halfway house in New York City, a UCB fundraiser, and a priest called me up who ran the halfway house, and he was like, may I speak to Owen Burke? And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? He was just thanking me. I'm like, oh my God. I always think I've upset somebody or done something wrong, and people are mad at me. So that's how I'm like a negative narcissist. I think that I've done something terrible.
I'm a positive one. I'm like, they're all thinking about me. I have a question.
Okay.
Just to bring it back to relationships.
Oh, yeah.
How did you propose to your wife?
It was an ultimatum. I was like, either we get married or we break up. And she was like, no. She had never learned to drive. And so I was teaching her how to drive. And
in New York?
we were living in New York, but we didn't live together. And so we were my family lives in Cape Cod. And so we were driving around Cape Cod, and I had a ring in my pocket. And we were driving around, and we had a bottle. I hit a bottle of champagne in the trunk, and the way she was driving, so many starts and stops that you could hear the bottle roll, boom, bong, boom, bong. She's like, "What's that noise?" I'm like, it's a tire iron. Oh, that damn body, Billy Bats. I got to cut it off. It's a sin. But so we were teaching her how to drive, and then we drove to Nauset Beach in Orleans, and there's a big parking lot there, and it was really a stormy, like not stormy, but like a gray, windy day, so no one was there, and she was parking, and then we got out, and I was like, let's just take a walk on the beach, and then we walked on the beach, and then I just got on a knee and proposed, and she was completely surprised, and it was great.
It's really cute that you rewarded her for driving badly.
Yeah, she was like, and she's been driving badly ever since. She thinks that's what, she's like, I got to keep driving badly. You're just going to leave me.
Giving me things.
That was the thing. I got to get into an accident. And she's a great driver now, thank goodness. But so that's what it was. And it was a surprise to her. And she was worried a little bit that we wouldn't get married. Because I remember I lived in a first floor apartment in Brooklyn. And the floor above me, the apartment became free. And I said to Christine, I'm like, oh, Dirty Kev can move in upstairs. And it would be so fun. And she's like, Dirty Kev. Ah. And she just started crying. And I'm like, what? It's like, we're never getting married, are we? And I was like, wait, why? Because Dirty Kev's moving up upstairs? And
Dirty Kev.
He was my best man. And then
Well, how long did you date before she cried?
4 years.
Oh, okay.
4 years. And we sort of already knew that we were going to stay together. There wasn't I think dating as long as we did was great, because this is the longest relationship I've ever had, now especially. But then my longest relationship was 10 months before dating her.
I have to sneeze.
Nicole, bless you.
Thank you.
Even you're number one in God's call sheet. Nicole, bless you. God's like, God damn it.
Oh, boy.
He's on the phone with Ari Emanuel. Wait, what? I can't get on there. Why won't you date me? What is happening? What is happening? I'm starting over fire. But it's so yeah, because then you're like, you have ups and downs with someone. Even when you really get to know them, you have a like, what is happening? And you have a moment to like, wait, should we be together? And so we made it through a couple of those, and then we got married. But I knew pretty early on that I wanted to marry her. She was, we just fit in this way where we just fit both. Like, we're very different, but that difference is how we fit, Like, she fits in the crook of my arm.
Aww.
So a lot of our stuff is just, we don't talk a lot. We just spend a lot of time just like crooked together.
Aww.
Like watching baking show or whatever. And
that's cute.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of like, we don't have any outside activities that keep us together. We have separate activities, but then the downtime is with each other, if that makes sense.
I think that's nice because then you have something to talk about.
Or not talk about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Or just be silent and hold your outside life as a secret.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I find that helps, like, because if she found out what I was doing outside the house, she would leave me in a second. So, no, but like when I used to work and
I used to work.
I used to work for a living.
Yeah, I used to bring in money.
Before show business took this shipwreck turn, but like
it's bad.
It's really it's
tough.
It's nar binks.
Yeah, I'm touring again this year because shit's tight.
Dude, I'm guesting on any podcast that asks. I'm gonna give you that money.
I need that money.
Give me that money.
Oh, I need that Venmo payment.
I'm like sending my kids out to do babysitting. Yeah, Venmo me and they'll get the money. Yeah, they'll get it.
Yeah. 90-10 split. The kids get that 10.
Hey, Hazel, raid the fridge. What do you if they got expensive cheese, bring it home. We'll put it on eBay. It's but I never I never would bring my work home. I never talk about, oh, this happened or this. And it just really, it made it so that when we were together, it was not about anything else but each other. And then, of course, we have kids. So a lot of what we do talk about is logistics, the kids and getting our kid into college or, driving them pickups, sports, all these things that we have to do. But then it's we do that. And then the rest of it is just chill. It's just, we don't really get into like profound conversations about anything. And it feels weird to say or whatever, but it actually works for us. And I think that's the thing about a relationship is that I think don't confuse perfect with just right because no one is perfect.
I like that.
Yeah. It's just like we're just right for each other. And there are things about her that annoy me. There are things about me that I'm sure don't annoy her, but she just says they do. But that annoy her. But like when those things happen, I'm like, well, that's not why I married her, So yes, this, but that's not why I married her. So why we married her is something bigger or whatever. And so we deal with problems sort of as, well, this is something we just have to deal with. But why we're together, it never really gets affected, sort of. We just sort of.
I like that.
Yeah.
It sounds really solid and nice and comfortable.
It's very comfortable. And sometimes I wonder if it's too comfortable, that we're too, like, casual with each other. But then she's always been good if there's the slightest issue. Like a little bit of a rip, a little tear. She says something right away. And so it never becomes this thing that keeps opening that then you have to do surgery to close it up. It's just like, oh, let's just staple that together. And she was always very good about saying something and then we work through it and then we move on.
I want to get like that. I'm not good at that. And I'll let things go. And then I'll be like, I feel angry or I'm starting to resent this person. And it's like, oh, because I didn't talk about this one thing that happened a month ago.
Yeah.
And then if I talk about it, I instantly feel better.
Yeah. And it's good just to let it out early because then if you don't talk about it, then it builds. And then all of a sudden narratives start building.
You start
on
just
it.
making shit up.
Yeah. Then it becomes, all of a sudden you're building the Sandman from the 3. All of a sudden you got a daughter and you got to rob banks for your daughter and get sand in people's iPads. And it's really just like, she's very good at being very direct, but not in a harsh way, just like, this is how I feel. And then it's like immediately like, I'm like, sorry, and please forgive me. Don't leave me. But
please don't leave me.
Please don't leave me.
I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Please don't leave me.
Please don't leave me. And if you are going to leave me, please don't take my record collection. No. But I don't have a record collection. She has a record collection. I don't have a record collection. But she, so it's just, it's gotten better through the years, which is crazy. We actually, the longer we've been married, the better it's become.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And I
think it goes the opposite way a lot. And then people are miserable and trying to figure out how to get out. But yeah, I want my relationship to like get better, every month, every year I'm with that person.
Yeah. And I think it's just from the beginning, we went really slow. When we first started, it was interesting. We met on Ash Wednesday, and then we really started dating on Easter. So 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. I didn't even put that together till just now. And really, she just was sort of like, go on a date, get dinner, whatever. And she really took it slow, and which was really helpful. And then, as she didn't want to move in together until we got married. So, because she was living with someone when we met. And my friends are like, oh, you're always going for a woman that you can't get, which was always my way too. Like, oh, I love this woman. And she's like, oh, the person who lives 3,000 miles away or does this or is not into you or whatever. So like yet another time. And then we moved in I proposed, then she moved in, and then we wanted to have a kid and to bring us sort of closer together. And so everything has been about getting closer together as opposed to we're drifting apart. How do we save this? It's, we really love this. What's the next step that's something else we could do together as a couple? And so we had our oldest daughter, and then the other 2 were unplanned and complete surprises to both of us. But
really?
Yeah.
2? 2 surprises?
2, yeah, for completely different reasons. Like, whoa. I was like, you could get pregnant? Whoa, I didn't know that. I really was like an after-school special as like a 30-year-old, mid-30s guy. I was like, what? You can get pregnant? Christina, why did you tell me you can get pregnant? What? And so, yeah, unplanned. And so it was crazy. And then I thought we were done after 2, and then I came back from doing a show in Telluride. We were doing this comedy thing. And did you ever do that Telluride job? And
I've heard a lot about it,
It's really, I got to do it once and they never asked me back. So I'm like, I guess I was on the front page of the Telluride newspaper, but that's not enough. Anyway. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. I was like, what? Wait, how? What? How does this work? But it's been amazing. It's like, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's really, being a dad is amazing. And being married to her as parents is amazing. So it's been really fantastic. It's like sort of boring, I guess, but it really is.
I don't think happiness and love are boring. I think they're really exciting, and I think it's nice to hear. I don't know. I really like hearing about people's love, and I love hearing about people's happiness. It makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, it makes me super happy. And, we're very much like, especially after COVID, being in this house together, I haven't been working. And so it's just really, we spend a lot of time together. And I've spent a lot of time with my kids since COVID. And so we're just like this very small unit of family. We're like Little House on the Prairie.
I love it. And I love that you're not sick of each other. You're like, give us more time together.
And we have a tiny house. Tiny. It's like this studio. I wish I had the room of this studio. Like, it's amazing. I was like, oh, wow. This is like the size of like 2 of my houses, this studio. I'm like, and you have a bathroom in here. But like, it's, I'm like always using my neighbor's bathroom. But
knock, knock, knock. I gotta pee again.
Edwin, I'm sorry. I had too much coffee this morning. I'm sorry. Man, when I brought my own matches from Chispaca. They're the good ones, the wooden matches.
They are the good ones.
Oh, yeah.
I like a big, long match. But also, I switched to match incense.
Oh, what's that?
So you light the match, and then it's like a little incense stick.
Whoa.
And then you like put it in the little foil, and then it burns, and then it covers up your stinky doo-doo.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my kids will like spray perfume into the bathroom.
That's tough, because then it smells like poop perfume.
Yeah, it smells like poop firm.
Poop-perm.
Perfume.
Poop-firm.
Poop firm.
Poop-firm.
Pew,
Pew, pew, pew.
pew, pew,
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
Are your kids dating? Are they of the dating age? Are you like
Yeah.
a TV dad where you're like, oh,
It rules.
crack your neck if you do things?
Come down to the coal pile. Let me talk to you. Let me get you to the coal
My
pile.
dad was not interested. He'd be like, anybody can have you. I
man.
simply don't care.
He's like, do I get land for her? Is there a dowry?
Honestly, he'd be like, I don't need a thing. I said, just take her.
Hey, I've got some big plans for her bedroom. That's going to be my man cave. I'm going to make sandwiches in there. My oldest daughter, has been in a relationship with another girl for about 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
In high school. Yeah, isn't that crazy? All
so
through high
nice.
school. It's amazing. It's really amazing. They're like the sweetest, just sweet and really great.
Have you threatened your girlfriend?
I'm like, you better be careful with my daughter. They're like, my daughter, she goes to an all-girls school. I was at their award ceremony last year, and my daughter got MVP of the lacrosse team.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing a varsity jacket with like the leather sleeves. She got her MVP, lacrosse MVP, and her arm around her like girlfriend's neck. I'm like, God, she's a bad guy in a John Hughes movie. My daughter is like, she has so much confidence. She's like, what's up, Dad? Like such swagger. And my kids have so much confidence. It's amazing. They help me a lot. They're like, Dad, you're so hard on yourself about how you look or whatever. They're like, you got to be nicer to yourself. You have to love yourself, Dad. They're like really sweet.
I love your family.
Oh my God.
That is so fucking sweet.
Yeah, they're very sweet. And they're very like, during these fire things, like I went on their Instagram and they're like posting places to shelter, stopping misinformation. They're like very thoughtful children. Like the youngest is an animal and a maniac, and she's gonna get by in her looks. But the 2 oldest are really amazing. No,
what is it about the youngest? I'm also the youngest, and I think my parents would have described me as such. Like, I don't know, she's fucking feral.
Yeah,
and I don't know why younger siblings are like that.
I don't know either. I mean, I'm the youngest of 4 boys, and then I have a little sister. So I wasn't the baby, but I was the youngest. And I think it's because you have to like fight the 2 older sisters will gang up on the youngest, and they're just like bang, bang, bang. And she has to be like stand up for herself in a way that the other 2 don't. And I don't know if that's a part of it, but she's really.
Maybe. But my sister and I were 1.5 years apart, and I think I just ruined the vibes. I think she was vibing. She was like, I'm 1.5. I'm almost 2.
Is there only 2 of you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Having a nice time.
Yes.
And then I was like, don't pay attention to me.
Yes.
And then she was like, oh, all right, well, like, my bedroom was the guest bedroom, and they had a queen-size bed in there. So I had a queen-size bed since birth.
Oh, my God.
My sister had a crib and then a twin bed, and then they never gave her a bigger bed.
No, you are the spoiler. The 2 oldest are 17 months apart. And Lucy, the oldest, Hazel ruined her life. And she would say it every once in a while, like, oh, it was great for a while. It's like you were barely conscious. But no, it really, I'll show you a picture after this, but there's a picture of like Hazel when she was like just really little and Lucy just pointing at her like, just like, ah. I had to take a picture because she was just like a moment in time, like how she really feels. And because Hazel, I don't know how you were with like crawling and walking, but like she wanted to keep up with Lucy. So she crawled like and then she walked early and she's just like, so they're very competitive, and they play sports together. They play golf together and they're very competitive.
Ooh, golf?
Yeah, all 3 of my girls golf.
Oh, do you golf?
I golf and my girls are real athletes. Like Lucy plays lacrosse, golfs, softball, Hazel was great at gymnastics, stopped doing gymnastics. Now she's a teenager, but she was a fantastic gymnast, plays golf, Doesn't play as much as I would like her to because she's really good and she would be great if she played. And Rose, my youngest, is fantastic at softball and golf. Yeah, they're all like athletes, which is so crazy to me.
That's nice. My dad had 2 black daughters and was like, Venus and Serena. And we were like, no, I simply won't do it.
No.
I wish I had played, I don't know, tennis seems like fun. I simply don't understand the scoring.
No.
Love.
Yeah, it's so advantage. It's like, what?
Serve.
Deuce. It's like, just use numbers.
Just say 1, 2, 3.
No, well, love comes from le œuf, which is an egg in French.
Wait,
which
really?
Is 0. I don't know. I think I heard that. But it's like,
That's
to me,
wild.
It's like, just relax. Just call it 0. Just relax. Everyone just relax. Just make it, and not just 15,
chill out.
Love. Like, why is it 15?
Yeah, why?
And then 30 and then 40, not 45. Like, guys, make this, it's 1, 2, 3, tie. 1 up, win. And instead of it's like, well, it's love 15 and you're like, please.
Doesn't
guys,
make any sense.
0 sense.
Do you have any advice for people who are single and looking to mingle?
I would say this. I don't give relationship advice.
Okay.
Because I was so bad at dating.
But you're in a very successful marriage.
I'm in a very successful, my IMDb meter's through the roof as far as my marriage is concerned. But I would say this, because I was so bad at dating and I have such self-loathing and low self-esteem that I didn't know if I would ever date or whatever. I was really bad at it. But I met Christina when I was doing what I loved most. And I think that if you're not meeting anybody, whatever, just do what you love and try to do it in I'm going to say like a public setting. Like, I love to dance naked. Well, don't do it on,
go to line dancing. Yeah, go to, I don't know.
Go to the thing that you love. Like for me, it was doing comedy. So I was in my element. I really was, that was the most myself I had ever been in my life, where I was really, once I discovered improv, when I saw that first improv show, I was like, this is the path. Where this leads, I have no idea, but I know this is the path. So I was really in tune with myself. And the fact that I went back to take Ian as a teacher was an act of pure just curiosity and drive to get better at what I loved. It wasn't like to get something or angle. It was like to dive deeper into something I loved. So it was really about loving who I am and
like
was it was probably the first time that I loved myself, that I was really like, I'm good at this and I feel good about myself. That when I met Christina, I could be confident enough and open enough, and we don't share a lot of interests, but we shared that at the moment. But we didn't share, we wouldn't talk about improv at all. We would be like, what do you think about object work, I say do it small. I say do it big. I don't do cabinets. I do drawers. Do you make egg white omelets or regular omelets?
Well, in improv, I'm making just a full egg omelet. I'm not skipping calories. It's not real.
No, I'm always doing a full omelet. That's very,
Give me that yolk.
Yeah, I'm always, I cook with butter with improv too. Like, I'm not no grapeseed oil. I'm putting butter in it.
No, get that butter.
I do heavy cream. I'm making casseroles.
Ooh, I'm going to make a carbonara.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know how many calories are in a carbonara with heavy cream?
2,000.
It's so many.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe.
I love cooking for my kids because they're just these clean engines that can process anything. I cook with so much butter and cheese when I make them food, and they're just blah, 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 and they don't.
They need it because they're all athletes.
And they're all just growing all the time. So for relationships, I would just say, there was something this is going to be something, I don't want to sound like Grandpa Theater or something like that, but
Grandpa Theater?
Hey, the kids.
Oh.
But it really when I was taking my daughter to look at colleges and I was seeing all these kids in college, I was going to campuses and I was breaking into dorm rooms and stealing money. And no, I'm just joking. But I was going.
No, I believe it.
Just oh, look at this, a $2 bill. But I would see so many kids wearing headphones and looking at their phones as they're walking through campus. And I'm like, you're 20 years old. You're 19. You're 21. Take off the headphones. Stop looking at the screen. And I know I wasn't raised with it, so I don't understand it as well as they do. But the world is out there, and people aren't on your phone. People are around you. And if you're doing something you love in a community, like if college, like me being an institutionalist, when I was in college, I was a full institutionalist at college too. Library. I used the library all the time. I used the business center. I used anything. I go to the Jesuits. I used it all. And it's like if you dive in full on to what you love and a community, you may not meet somebody, but you most likely will meet the right person for you if you're open to it and open with yourself and loving yourself a little bit too,
I agree. I think community is very important. I think it's an important way to like find your people and then hopefully find somebody that you love.
I mean, think about how many friends we have from UCB.
From improv. I have so many. Most of my dear friends I met at UCB.
Yeah, almost all. I mean, Paul Scheer is my daughter's godfather. You know what I mean? Like we've become such, and it's all because we all shared this experience in this place and improv is about giving. It's more than taking, and it really is a shared thing. And our best friends are all from there. And so being a part of a community and really being a part of it, not just saying, I always tell young people, you get more from giving than taking. And if you can just believe that if you give, you get so much more back than if you take.
And are these young people asking for advice, or are you stopping them in the streets?
No, I go to USC and I ask them to throw me the Frisbee, and then I ask them to buy me a coffee, and then I talk to them and tell. No, I'm always giving advice to college graduates from my college, or young people, it's just something that I've always done. And people breaking into the business or whatever, friends or whatever, their kids, whatever, college. My college is always asking me to do stuff like that. And so I love giving advice, and I really am just dive in and just lose yourself into something the Jesuits taught me, succumb to the grace. And this is something about marriage and being in a relationship. Succumb to the grace of the other person. Succumb to the grace of the relationship. Succumb to it. Just be open to it, knowing that it'll only give you good back. And just be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be open to it and know that it won't hurt you. It'll actually fill you up in a beautiful way. And that's what I learned from the Jesuits. I did that with my comedy and with my wife. And I just sort of followed epiphanies with both and just let the faith carry me forward,
Owen, that's a sweet way to end this. Do you have anything that you want to promote?
I do a show with you once a month at Largo called Dinosaur Improv.
It's very fun.
It's very fun. So usually at the end of the month, we usually do it. So if you're ever in LA and you go to Largo and you're there at the end of the month,
come see the show. It's fun.
Largo. I don't really have anything else to promote, World Peace.
World Peace. That's nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And then that's it. But I do an improv show once a month.
I love it. Well, if you like this episode of Why Won't You Date Me, you can like it. You could give me 5 stars. And if you write me something nasty hitting on me to whywontyoudatemepodcast@gmail.com, I'll read it. Okay. You said you were getting low. I would be very upset if you ran out. This is a modification to my forever favorite dirty message of clam chowder vagina soup. I thought I could do a version you might like since you started liking some soup. I do like soup now. I would like to flip you upside down and fill your pussy with ramen. Okay. That's better than clam chowder. I'll slurp those noodles right out and gobble them down. Hope you don't get a yeasty. Well, now you made it upsetting. Also, you mentioned a power steering manifold broke on your share Jeep. I don't think that's a thing. I Googled it. I think it was a nodule. Okay. So you want to fill me with ramen and correct me? Okay.
Am I supposed to know what's been going on right now?
No, and that's okay. This is from an OG listener who's straight and married. Bye-bye.
Ask Owen if you'd date you.
Oh, I forgot. Would you date me?
Of course I would date you.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, Christina might get upset about it, but we don't talk, so she would never find out.
Yeah, she doesn't know what you're doing outside of the house.
Well, let's go see Craven.
Honestly, I would love to. It is maybe my top movie of... When did it come out?
24.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Madam Web, Craven, Joker 2. Those are my top 3.
Dude, I watched. Oh, you saw Joker 2?
I fucking loved it. I saw it in theaters.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw Madam Web with my kids, and we watched it, and we were like, "This is gonna be bad." We're mesmerized by it because it's it's like my dinner with Andre. It's just on a different level of like, what am I?
Yeah.
Is this going to be the whole movie? It's like, I don't know if you ever saw that movie Roma that like won the Oscar, where it's just like the first 10 minutes during the credits, it's just like water being splashed on like cobblestones. And you're like, is this, so if this is the pace of this movie, I guess I'm just going to just sit back and
take it in, let it
like
wash over
piece
me.
Of art or whatever, like blow up or something. It's like, I guess this is what it is. That's like Madam Web. I'm like, this is on another plane of like time and space.
It was
like, whoa.
So interesting I was like, this director should work forever. Somehow this director managed to direct all of the actors to act like they're in different movies. I was like, what? Oh,
it was the Marvel Universe in one movie.
Truly.
Yeah.
And then the end with her glasses and her moving chair. I screamed.
Sometimes movies are like that where you're like, I have a bunch of movies where I'm like, I'm not going to say you're going to like it. I'm not saying it's good, but I liked it. And, you know, it's like certain movies are like that where you're like, I can't really speak to whether this
That's like Craven. There's a man who turns into a rhinoceros.
He must be horny.
He does have a horn, and he makes some really interesting choices.
Oh, man. Have you ever seen Braven?
No.
Treat yourself to Braven.
What's Braven?
Jason Momoa.
I do like Jason Momoa.
A really nice logger. He just likes to drive a log truck. That's all he wants to do and shoot bows and arrows with his beautiful wife and his kids. He just loves to bow and arrow it up and drive log trucks. Someone's using his cabin for drugs. And he didn't know about it. And now drug dealers are coming to his snowy cabin, and he's got a dad who's there too, and then it's like a bow and arrow. It's like 1991
that sounds great.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like Commando type. It's like that great old school action movie. Very simple, but very satisfying.
I'll watch it because I just watched Total Recall. I couldn't believe all the choices that were made. There's a lady with 3 titties in it.
Oh, it's the best.
I said, what? I said, what? Oh my God.
It's the best. I love that movie. The cab driver.
It's great.
I love it. That movie is, you know, I love the construction worker who's in it in the beginning too. He's like that big, he's in every TV show and commercial growing up.
Yeah.
I love when I see actors, you're like, you've been in everything.
Yes,
I've
because
ever
they used
seen.
to have character actors. Now we're putting prosthetics on Colin Farrell to make him into the Penguin. We have penguins in this world. I've seen a lot of ugly people.
It's really, they've given up on like Hollywood seems to have given up on just people. It's like there's 6 people who can be on camera and we'll do anything we can to make them look like other people. Or every commercial now is like the Super Bowl. You all have seen the Super Bowl by now. I guarantee there are no good ideas in the commercials. It's all about like, well, LL Cool J was driving the train, you know? Like a train just went through the house where people were watching TV. A whole train just went through the house. That's not enough. It's got to be LL Cool J.
I have not seen this commercial.
Oh my gosh. But it's like, it's just always about that it's Betty White. I mean, which would be a remarkable.
That would be wild. That would be crazy if it was not a hologram really and it was actually, they got Betty White.
She loves to work. But you know, it's like, it's only about, isn't it funny that it's this person doing it, as opposed to different kinds of actors that you get to know over time or whatever, you know? I don't know. It's weird.
I agree. Well, that's it. Did I do the outro?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this.
I really appreciate it. I hope it was good.
I think it was. Yeah, leave all this in. It was good.
No, but this would be like a date. I'd be like, thank you for having me on this date. I hope it was good for you.
Would you say that?
No, but it was never a clean ending to a date. I'd be like, all right, bye.
I know we're done, but when I was dating, I had become clinical with it. I would be like, I had a nice time. Thank you very much for taking me out.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I'd be like, now you have to say, I'll take you out again.
I'll take you out again.
Because I was like, I'm not going to ask you out. You have to ask me out because all the articles say don't chase a man. Anyway, we're done. Bye, Owen.
Bye, Nicole. Bye, fans.
That was a HeadGum podcast.